Welcome to Behind the YugiTuber, where we ask your favorite stars your questions. Tonight I have the man who's single-handedly going to make you not terrible at this game. Tonight I have MST.TV's Tombox. How you doing, man?
I am doing very good, actually. Just got off work, and I signed up for this. I'm going to go all the way. Hopefully I don't teach you guys misplays or anything along the way here, too, either.
Nah, man, you're the one who's gonna make us all better. I've definitely learned a lot from watching your channel, and learned a few
really
rulings.
That.
Like, I definitely would not have found out some of the rulings for Evenly Matched if it was not for your videos.
Yeah, Evenly Matched was a very obscure one that I actually, I looked it up as a joke and be like, what are some stupid things I can do with this card? And then the card text was pretty obscure, considering that we do have problem-solving card text. And then we're like, well, how does this actually apply? So I actually decided to do some digging, and it just takes time to ask questions at forums and the different Discord channels. There's a ruling zone channel, which is very, very handy.
So what made you want to start doing videos? Was there any particular channel that inspired you? Did you look at someone and go, I can do that, but better?
Yes, there was, actually. There was 4 channels, to be exact. One was Alentio, the UK
Rest
YouTuber.
in peace.
There was, yeah, too bad link format kind of killed him off. Konami did it. It was Konami's fault. Second one was Asian Eyes White Dragon, I have to say. Next one was Team APS. They all have different qualities that I really like on these channels. And then there was also Galactic God. Those are the 4 that kind of inspired me to start. Yeah, that's about right.
So you've made quite a few videos over the time of being on the platform. So what is your favorite video you've made?
Bistro Butcher, by far. That one was so fun to do. If you guys haven't seen it, I just decided to be like, you know what? I'm gonna make a hamburger. And then I did it in the complete context of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, it was really fun to actually do that one. It actually took a long time to actually plan, like, the script, get the people together, find a burger recipe to work with, learn how to make the teeth on that burger. All in all, it just took a lot of effort to actually make that one, and by far was the most rewarding episode that I've ever filmed on the platform today.
While on the topic of food, what gave you the ideas like, yeah, I'm gonna make them smell this really janky ass fruit? What caused? What gave you that idea?
See, like, I always want to do something like silly when it comes to like pack openings and whatnot, like punishing people for doing things, as it just puts a little more stake on the line. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, let's do a pack opening with 2 people and that's it. Kind of started with I forgot which case opening where we forced someone to eat hot wings or something like that, like really, really, really spicy hot wings. And for the durian, I just happened to have durian in my fridge at the time.
Why? I'd never heard of this fruit before your video.
It's a family thing. Like, I'm an Asian guy, and like either you love the fruit or you hate the fruit. I am part of the side that does not exactly like the fruit very much, but my parents, on the other hand, they love that stuff, and they had a piece saved up, and I'm like, I need this. This is the only way. So I was talking with like Marcus, and Marcus was like, I hate this stuff. Okay, well, there's our punishment. We found the holy grail of punishments for you. And in fact, I actually ended up punishing him because I was the one actually eating it. And since the taste is so different from the smell, all he got was the smell of smelling a durian while eating a Pop-Tart, where I was just eating it, and then the smell kind of goes away once the fruitiness comes out. It's a weird experience.
So I have no idea what this fruit was. So what does it taste like? And is there something similar you could attribute it to?
Well, the texture is kind of like ice cream. The smell is like sewage, but the taste is kind of, it's actually very sweet. I can't say it's like a jackfruit or anything.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually a sweet fruit that smells like sewage.
Interesting, because based on your actions, I thought it would taste like absolute ass. I'm like, why would someone subject themselves to this fruit?
Yeah,
like, of their own volition?
It's very weird. It's like the smell is so bad, but it's kind of like, I thought that I would actually like throw up when I ate that piece.
I thought so too.
The smell was just the smell's super bad. Like, I actually had to Febreze the whole place after I was done, because, like, even in some countries, it's actually against the law to eat durian outside because it stinks up the place.
I would imagine so.
It was pretty bad, but the taste is just, it's very different. If you get past that smell, the taste is like a creamy, sweet fruit.
Interesting. So I'm definitely going to have to try a durian one day. I don't think you could buy them anywhere in New York. I've not seen a place. Maybe I'll ask my local deli.
You probably have to find it at an Asian market or somewhere.
Well, one was just recently opened up by me.
They're expensive. They're like $20.
Are they really? Wow.
Yeah, they are an expensive fruit. But anyways.
On the topic of making videos, what has been your least favorite video so far? I know you've mentioned before you weren't too happy with the Droll and Lock combo rulings, and you had to make a follow-up video on it to clarify some things.
Yeah, okay, for those videos, like, I personally don't like it when I make a clear mistake of something. Usually when I film, I'm pretty tired, because, like, I work full-time, and then I come home, I eat, and then I start working on the video stuff, and sometimes I make a mistake, and I really hate it when I make, a mistake that actually costs a lot of time, and I don't want to misinform people in terms of rulings, because that's the worst. Because if you're like a trusted source for rules and you give the wrong rule, it makes, first of all, it makes you yourself look bad, but the worst case is that you're actually making other people play incorrectly. And not enough people actually check up the follow-up video, so that in turn actually just like the misinformation starts to spread, and that actually makes me feel bad. But I wouldn't say that's actually the worst kind of video I've done. The worst kind of video is when I try to do a live duel sequence where I do the commentary and everything over it. Usually in those sequences, if misplays or worse yet, illegal plays happen and they're not caught, I feel like I've wasted time, and worse yet, if I actually uploaded it and it starts getting flamed, I have to delete it. In other words, it's just like 30 hours of wasted time. Those are the worst, like, in my opinion.
So on the topic of live duels, how difficult is it to run and commentate the MOS?
Now, MOS is very, very difficult to run. It requires more than just one person to do. I've actually been told to actually do more tournaments, like team up with other people and like stores to actually host.
I would definitely love to watch those, because I even still I go back and occasionally watch like formats that I really enjoy. Like the Draco Palmyra one comes to mind.
Yeah, those are very exciting, especially when these are like the top tier players that are coming into like
Woodsman and
play.
Oh man, I cannot remember the other guy's name, who's usually on a lot of your feature matches.
Can't quite remember right off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, neither
but
can
I kind of get the idea. Like, usually we get some of the best players, because usually for MOS, I try to pace it out in terms of like the feature matches, because usually I capture quite a bit of matches, and then I do a lot of dueling commentary over it. And I'm actually not aware of these matches, and I can't really do it live. I don't do it live because it's not possible. As like the tournament organizer and the I guess, and the head judge of the event, I can't do that. But usually the segments come pre-recorded for me, and then it's just a raw recording of the entire game. Nothing's really cut out, unless, of course, the camera, of course, you know, is on the fritz. But, like, otherwise, it's just me going through the game as basically as live as possible. And it's a very interesting experience, because usually I had to dish out, like, a game loss once on the video, because of an extra card was drawn and it was caught on camera. Like, usually people kind of like, oh, what do you do about these things? Because these are awkward situations that people usually kind of cut out and don't put on their video. But it was a tournament, and the integrity of the event also matters a lot when it comes to making those kinds of live duels.
I'm not sure if you remember, but I do want to tell you what my favorite MOS live duel moment was during the Gradle Kaiju versus Cosmo match. A guy potted duality, and it was fucking 3 Dogran. I laughed my ass off. I've shared that with so many friends. I'm like, that is probably the unluckiest moment of Yu-Gi-Oh! Caught on film.
Yeah, that was actually really bad. Like, the thing is, when they're on the feature match, like, they actually play a bit worse. They feel like everything's being monitored, and then to have something like that being caught on, that was actually really great, because it kind of snaps them out of the moment, and they realize that, hey, I'm still playing a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And right now, this is the worst possible situation for me. That kind of feeling is actually really, really fun to capture, especially if there's stuff on the line. There's cash prize, there's the mat prizes as well. Like, so much is on the line there, and seeing players trying to play their best is pretty interesting, especially on camera. It's nothing like one of those other feature matches that I do. Like, sometimes do like one of those proxy matches, and there's like nothing at stake on those ones. So we sometimes we fool around, do extra greedy plays just for the sake of entertainment. But those ones at the more competitive level, they are trying their best just to, you know, be on the winning line all the way through.
So one of the ritual questions for every guest on the show is, who is your Yu-Gi-Oh! Waifu?
I don't have one.
Oh my god.
Does it have to be a character? I actually don't have one.
You just pick a card you think is cute. I don't know. don't
pick a
don't
card
pull
that
a
I think is
DZ on
cute.
me. He goes,
You know
I
what?
like
I'm
3D
gonna
women.
go with Madolche Tiramisu.
All right, I respect that. I respect that.
She's got the food. She's, you know, the head of the kingdom, of the Madolche kingdom. She's got a hot daughter. I don't know.
She's also still pretty OP. Still.
Yeah, she's pretty OP. She has one of those defining card effects. She doesn't, you know, if you know what I mean, she doesn't target.
Very nice, very nice. Non-targeting is always a pleasure in the game.
Especially when it doesn't destroy. One of the best feelings.
Feels good, man. So you've mentioned earlier in the video already that you have a full-time job. So this question is, do you ever find it difficult to manage your YouTube lifestyle along with your normal social life?
It does. I you know what? That's actually one of the biggest things.
Because I feel like not many people know that you do have a full-time job, and that's why you don't get to upload as much.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Like, I don't get to do, like, oh, this new ban list just came out. I'm like, it's 3 o'clock and it's work. And there's no way I'm going to beat anyone to the punch there. I've got to put extra effort when it comes to talking about this list. I have to analyze it. But yeah, I do work full-time. I work in the games industry, mobile gaming, to be more specific. I am credited in the game. It's a pretty cool game. I'll tell you about it later. But like, yeah, being in the games industry, it was very difficult to actually incorporate YouTube. I started off at a different company before my current one, but I was still in the games industry when I started the channel. And incorporating it into my lifestyle was not too difficult at first, thanks to YouTube not screwing with their algorithm as much, whereas before, MST only uploaded once a week. Yeah, around that, and then sometimes twice a week if there's like a ban list or something coming out. But then YouTube changed their algorithm, rewarding people for uploading quantity, and that actually hurt me a bit more because I wanted to keep up, I wanted to grow the channel, and because of that, I had to create several segments that were slightly shorter, and we had to speed up the writing process for the scripts. And yeah, all in all, it was very difficult to wedge in. In terms of like hanging out with friends, actually joining locals was a bit more difficult. Usually I try to get some stuff going on from locals, but then because of the YouTube change, it made it a lot harder, like way harder. So then basically YouTube became a second full-time job now. So go to work, hey, and like it's not even 9 to 5, it's more like a 9 to 7. And then go home, and then like a 9 to 2, and then go to sleep, and then it's like an endless cycle.
Very dedicated man. You heard it here first. So I ask all of you who are watching to go subscribe to MST.TV.
Really appreciate that. Really do. And thank you guys for subscribing, of course.
So on average, how many packs do you think you open? I know you definitely have done a lot of pack openings with your spin. Like, I know these, what's it called? What the hell was that stupid card? Secret Blast. The Secret Blast points that took away.
Oh, yes. So my little shadow game of an opening. I don't remember what I called it. The super pack opening the movie, the game series, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, where you were at, you were opening Bosch, and you were trying
yes.
And you were trying to pull the Pen Magicians. Or not, yeah, Pendulum Sorcerers.
Yeah, that was actually a really good case. That was a full case that I bought because Bosch, like, I usually can identify which cases are worth buying and which ones weren't. I only bought 2 cases of Yu-Gi-Oh! So far, and both of them, well, one of them was really, really good. The other one was absolute garbage. The garbage one was Raging Tempest. I bought a case of Raging Tempest. I opened a lot of packs, and I've pulled, I think in that case, I pulled 5 Theseus.
Ouch.
I pulled 1 Tempest. No. Did I even... Sorry, not Tempest. Barrage. I'm trying to think of Barrage. I think I pulled, like, 1 Barrage.
I remember you guys pulling a few Broad Bowl.
We pulled about 3 Broad Bowls and 2 Dryadens, and that was it. And then everything else was all the other stuff that no one really cared about. So that was a painful case. That was very, very heavy on the loss side.
I've still yet to purchase my first case. I haven't seen a set that was like deemed worthy of getting it. Like,
yeah, there hasn't been one. Like, usually, if the super staples are good, then it's worth going in.
Me and my friends were considering like all pitching in together to get a Maximum Crisis one because like 3 of them wanted to plry True Dracos, and then
yeah, that was actually not a bad case to go into. Like, definitely not too much to lose due to the fact that all the ultras were actually pretty good. And the moment you get, like, good ultras, like, say most of them are at least worth something, upon pulling, then it's a decent case.
Yeah, the only ultra that was really bad in that set was the one true Draco that no one even remembers existing. What is it called even?
Darius
something.
Darius? Yeah, that one's kind of weird.
That one's kind of bad. I see some people now run it at my locals where they run like a Kyoto Waterfront build. But
so he's like spamming kaijus.
He's like spamming kaijus, and he's playing. I'm gonna out this man. He's not gonna like this because I don't think he's listening. But a former Shonen Jump champion or topper. I think he's gotten second place a few times. He plays like some weird rock stun, true Draco Waterfront build with the what the fuck are those Kyokais or Kyaokiris, and the new fucking Spirit Stone, so you can't ash them ever. It's very weird.
I love the new Spirit Stone. I should have talked about it a bit more.
It's a weird build, but it's surprisingly pretty devastating if he gets the ball rolling. Like, you just can't do anything at all.
It is pretty interesting that there is like a spirit monster, Majesty's Fiend-esque monster.
Man, bring back spirits. That was a cool idea for a while. I never got to partake in it, but I would definitely be interested to now.
Back in the day, it was kind of annoying because there wasn't exactly a lot of card choices in the pool, but then creature swapping your spirit monster was one of the most annoying things. Due to the fact that it didn't target, you're guaranteed a plus at the end of the turn anyway. So that was a pretty, well, kind of neat thing to do back then. But now it's like, oh, everything doesn't target. Oh, everything has a quick effect. Oh, you want to do this? No, you can't do it. It's just, the game's really gone like really too fast for its own good, causing the power creep, causing the hand trap. Everyone's complaining about something these days, but it's just all part of the evolution of the game.
Yeah, it's definitely they're never going to be able to please anyone now. It's like we have gone past the point of doing that. But since the game has changed so much, what is your go-to deck right now? Like, if you had to go to a local and you had access to any card you needed, what would it be?
I'd actually just play ABCs. I don't know why, I just really like the archetype. I just like the fact that ABC is the most fun and recurring boss monster. I know a lot of people are just going to disagree with me, because a lot of them hate ABCs. It's like a very boring deck to most people, but as a go-to deck that I don't need to think, I can play it when I'm extremely tired, ABC would be the go-to deck.
Do you miss the Tsukiyomi combo with a drop your hand?
I don't miss the Tsukiyomi combo. I like to play it without all the extra the gadgets and the photon thrashers. I actually enjoy playing Destrudo. I enjoy Destrudo as an engine. I don't know how long this engine's gonna last, seeing that OCG kind of killed their own engine already. So yeah, you know.
Who knows? Because it hasn't really done much here, so maybe they'll wait. But who knows? Only time can tell.
I'm hoping they get to live, yeah. Because that would be like my biggest bummer deck, because I really wanted to play it, but due to the fact that DD Crow was main deck so hard in every Spiral deck because it was part of a combo, then it's like, activate Destrudo. Oh, pay half your life points to get DD Crowed.
Yeah, that was rough. That was definitely rough. But, like, are many... I haven't kept up in the last few weeks with topping decks, but have people been playing the Destrudo engine in the Spiral decks yet? Because if not, maybe we'll be lucky. They cut it out.
A lot of them cut it out.
Really? They didn't like it at all?
Well, it's because, like, our set rotation was hit.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
And with set rotation hit, it was just like, do I really need to play that many field spells now? And besides, we still have 3 terraforming, so they don't really need to go into the Ancient Fairy anymore. And not a lot of people can play, well, Black Rose in their build because they spam so many cards onto the field already. The only deck that would play it would be ABC so far. At least that's the only deck that I can think of that would play, like, multiple field spells, like Dragon Ravine plus Union Hanger, something like that.
So with saying ABC is like your go-to deck right now, would you say that it's your favorite archetype, or do you have something else in mind? Like, I know you.
No, I think my favorite archetype is Necros.
Necros, interesting.
Necros is my favorite archetype for good reason. I topped every event I went with Necros. That definitely was the easy one.
That definitely can sway your opinion.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I wish I had Necros for, like, I missed the YCS Necros, whichever first YCS it was, where Necros was released. I missed that one, but I screwed over, like, Oscar, which is, like, another, I guess, a friend that's also part of the channel. Like, he wanted to borrow the Necros deck, I didn't lend it to him, and so he was basically eating Necros matchup left and right, and I'm like, I'm so sorry to screw you over like this.
You didn't? I remember in one video, you guys, I'm trying to think, it was a meta-analysis. that you guys mentioned one of the YCSs you guys went to, or maybe it was a regional, that you were actually surprised at how few of the Necros decks were at one of the events, like you first went to.
I think that was a regionals. That was a regional event at Seattle. So I took the Necros deck. The first competitive event I took it was to one of the Seattle regionals. I think I joined all of them that season, and there was actually not enough Necros because a lot of the matchups I played like 4 Necros, and every other matchup was just something else, and because they were playing something else, it was actually not that scary. Playing against Shadol with Necros, not that bad unless they get a Noyatilis, and then like playing against BA, not big of a problem as long as you can negate everything, because your monsters already negated the entire like extra deck monster, so who cares? And then if you just lock them out, and then you just trish them once, and then the game is basically over. Yeah, so that was actually pretty interesting. And then I think I remember, I did mention my favorite play at that tournament. It was a mind game against a Satellar Knight player. I feel so bad for him, because like throughout the tournament, people have been like basically blind mind crushing DENKO SEKKA, because you just summon DENKO SEKKA and then you just go off and you basically win the game. So after siding in, I asked my opponent, I just drew for turn, and I asked him like, hey, do you want a blind mind crush DENKO SEKKA in my hand? So I'm like, draw phase, you want to do anything? He's like, no man, you're just mind gaming me. And then I'm like, okay, standby phase, do you want to mind crush now? I know you have it, you're considering it, you're looking at it so often. And then all of a sudden he's like, no, you're just baiting me. I'm like, normal summon. I was holding the DENKO SEKKA in my hand, waving it in his face, and I'm like, normal summon DENKO SEKKA.
Poor guy.
And then he's like, oh my god.
He got next level.
And I'm like, he did get next level. Then that was game 2, and I already took game 1. I already took game 1, so you went
Poor
first.
guy, he tilted him into the fucking Shadow Realm.
And that was his bubble match too.
Oh no. Oh, so you double fucked him.
Yeah, I did screw him over pretty bad. And I'm like, the thing is, if he actually mind crushed me, he would have taken out 2 copies of DENKO SEKKA. I already had one in my opening hand. I just happened to draw another copy in my hand. So that was even worse because I showed him the second copy afterwards.
That would have been, if that was me, I would have just like left the tournament. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like retired.
That was so tilting for him. I was really tired of that tournament too, because I remember that I didn't sleep at all. I was running off of 2 cans of Red Bull. I was super talkative every match so I don't fall asleep. And that was how that one kind of ended up. So that was like I think that was the one where I got my invite like 5 times that year. But that was just Necros all the way. Anyways, that's my Necros story.
For those who don't know, you are a Canadian-based YouTuber, so how hard do you find it to come over to the States to actually participate in regionals and YCSs and Nats? Because I know you've made a few vlogs where you guys like were stuck in the car for like what, 6 hours when you stopped at Walmart and shit, just trying to get to Nats.
Yeah,
in 2016.
So see, in BC West Coast, we don't have regionals. So we have to go to Seattle to go to regionals. Or we can go to Spokane, or we can go to Portland if Portland ever has one. But usually around the West Coast, that's the only time we actually get to go. And that's actually really unfortunate because, like what happened over here is Yu-Gi-Oh! Due to the stores not wanting to deal with Konami, and every single time they host, it's like a loss of money. That's why they don't host. So yeah, we take those huge car rides to go down and... sometimes for Nats we fly. We have to fly. Like almost most people will have to fly, especially if they're Canadian. Even some of the people in the States will have to fly too because it's just too far of a drive. And we'll have to book time off. I have to pay for like housing and everything. We always try to go as a group. Usually the trips are me falling asleep in the car. I try to vlog as much as possible, but there's actually nothing too interesting.
Is it a ritual to stop at that Walmart? Because what have you stopped at that Walmart every time?
Yes,
you buy
it
packs?
is a ritual to stop at that Walmart. We buy packs. It doesn't matter what kind of pack we buy. It could be Magic, it could be Pokemon. We buy a pack, and usually it's garbage. We always pull garbage.
Is that an indicator that you're going to do good at the tournament? Or is that an indicator you're going to do bad?
It is an indicator that we are going to do pretty bad.
Oh no!
Every time. Well, then again, that's not exactly true. It just means that Maybe the packs at the regionals will be better. The 5 packs that we get for entry. It is usually good for someone else, but like I've yet to see someone pull good from those packs that we've bought from that.
Are you convinced that Walmart is stacking the packs against you just to try to tilt you?
I'm considering that some people might be scaling packs over there.
Definitely scaling packs. I've yet to run into scalers here.
I feel like it's probably scaled, but we don't care. It's our ritual now. We have to go there. First thing we buy, Red Bull, granola bars, because we don't usually don't get a chance to get something to eat. Oh man, I can't really speak right now. I'm just dying here. And Gatorade, and then we drive to the hotel.
Any Airbnb horror stories that you get there and there's like a dead body or something?
Usually we get a hotel, so no, we were fortunate enough not to have dead bodies. We did get an Airbnb, I guess, twice. Airbnb, it's actually worth it. If you go as a group, get a small little area, especially if you're going to go for multiple days. Airbnb is probably a cheaper option anyway, and hopefully you don't have to rent a car. But if we do, you can just get Ubers, right? You can just call them Uber. It's just all the same, really. But Airbnb, it was really good because you basically have the whole place to yourself, and it's like a dueling house as long as there's table space and you guys can practice as much as you want. Yeah.
So another ritual. Actually, never mind. Before I go to the ritual, I want to ask you questions while we're still on the topic of tournaments. Is who came up with the Sasuke for Nats idea? Who was it?
That would be, I think it was Oscar. They had to. I remember they have bets. Okay, funny thing is, during our crazy little shenanigan, usually when we go down to like a big tournament or whatever, while we're eating, we would have bets with each other, and usually those bets would involve doing something stupid the next day, like dressing with Sasuke. That was a pretty interesting one. And then he had like dressing up as Sasuke to go on a plane.
Yeah, and that one guy was like Sasuke at the airport.
Yes, there's that stuff. That was great. I believe that was Nationals of 2016. I think.
I believe it was 2016 because that was the same video where Corbin talks about how he bopped Billy Break with Cyframes.
Yes, that's the one.
That was a great story. Lovely video. Well worth the hour-long watch. Definitely. I definitely wish more people would do Nats vlogs or just tournament vlogs in general. I haven't been to like any of the big ones myself, but do most of them just not allow you to film inside the venue, or is it only Nats?
Oh man, it's not just Nats. I'm pretty sure if you ever talk with Yugi No at the two this year's Nats. Like, when he was trying to do a group recording, like, security just got all in his face, and he was pretty pissed. Like, straight up, he was pretty pissed. And I avoided confrontation as much as I can with, like, the officials there. But I got yelled at a couple times for filming at the Seattle Regionals, which is why probably in the future I'm probably not going to film in there anymore, because they've given me straight warning that they're going to ban me if I continue to film in there.
Is there any particular reason why they do that? Like,
I have no idea.
Especially if they're not going to fucking stream the venue. Like, goddamn, dude. Let me get something.
Well, I think it's a bit strange that over here in, like, NA, we are not allowed to film. If I were to get the chance to host a regionals, you know what? I'm going to let you guys film all you want, because it's content. And I know it's really hard to get good content, especially for like any kind of growing channel. Getting content out there, getting good content out there is very, very difficult, and to be like kind of shafted by the officials just makes it feel like they're not really supportive of this community, even though like this whole community on YouTube helps them as a product creator.
Yeah, it's free advertisement, man. Come on.
Like, people like the community feeling. Like, why is League of Legends so big? Because they have a whole big community base. They've got the player base, they've got the fans, they've got the teams, they've got, like...
Imagine if Rye just didn't let you take pictures at the venue. That'd be fucking nuts. People would be in uproar.
Yeah, people would be, like, hella pissed. Like, people just sneak pictures anyways. Like, they're not gonna give a shit.
So who's your favorite League team? Because I know you went to the finals when it was in Toronto.
Oh, yes. So, I was watching the finals because it was actually local for me, and, to be honest, I don't exactly watch very much League. It's actually my girlfriend that's actually into League. So, she's a big fan of TSM. I'm more of a Cloud9 kind of guy.
Respectable. Cloud9, Meme9.
Yeah, Meme 9. So, that would be my favorite team.
Do you play it much at all, or not really?
So, thanks to playing with my girlfriend, now I will never play again.
I was gonna ask you, who's your favorite champ?
My favorite champ is Kha'Zix.
All right, nice.
I still have my favorite champ, Kha'Zix, all the way. I liked him since he was broken, since he was nerfed, since he became relevant again, and then nerfed again. Yeah, Kha'Zix is my bae there.
Yeah, he's gone through quite the few changes.
Yeah, he's just really fun to play for me because I'm the sneaky kind of guy that likes to sneak in and kind of go in there, chunk you off, run away, hit and run kind of strategy. That's kind of me. But yeah, the reason why I don't play as much is because I am not as good as my girlfriend, and she is way better than me. If I'm probably like a bronzy. Okay, you know what? I might be a silver guy, and she might be like a gold kind of player, and then I can't keep up. So, and then we get into arguments of what the hell I'm doing sometimes, or why am I falling asleep mid game. So, I don't know. I'm really tired, man. I'm working full time here.
Yeah, man.
Gotta.
They don't understand. People don't understand the struggle. I respect it, though. I respect your struggle, man. So, another ritual, to go back to the ritual, is why does this man's scrub friend think Grand Mole is broken? This is from Rob Is Cat.
Now I'm completely lost.
It is a ritual question this man asked me to ask every guest that I have on, is why does
why does this scrub friend think Grand Mole is broken?
Yeah, it's 2017, why does he think it's still broken? And you got any idea?
Because Grand Mole is broken. Dude, look at him. He gets to, like, non-target bounce a card, and he goes back, you get to use it again. He's free. He's a free resource. That's as much as I can try to sell Grand Mole being broken. Aside from that, he can't answer most of the boss monsters out there, if you think about it. As long as they're not unaffected by monster effects, you can use Grand Mole on most of them.
Do you have a worse purchase, or a purchase you instantly regretted, like a buy a prize card or some spicy tech, and then it flopped super hard?
No, I don't think I ever did anything like that. Hold on, actually.
Go check your TCG catalog.
I gotta look at my stuff here. I don't think I've made any. I got my binder right here. Actually, I can look through it. There's some stuff I keep in here because it reminds me of how I screwed up. But I don't think I have anything that's a waste of money. Yeah, I don't think I've wasted money on most things, I think. Yeah, definitely not. I have not wasted money on these. I've put in good mileage on most of my cards.
You're a very smart consumer.
Yeah, I'm very smart. I'm very informed. I have never tried to do any sort of buyouts that a lot of players seem to do. Like, oh my god, this tech is gonna be busted, and they buy it out just to spike up the price and just to resell it. I let the others do it. I don't really need to bother because as long as you're friends with vendors, you're friends with the community, you can usually get pretty decent prices for anything. So yeah, I haven't scrubbed out on any purchases yet. Biggest scrub on purchase, a case of Raging Tempest resulting in 5 Theseus.
Dude, it's the best card of 2017. Konami said it themselves.
Yeah, thanks. Konami said so. Konami said, my hair is regretting that purchase decision. Yeah,
dude, that's actually they would never lie to us. Are you kidding me? Come on now. Come on, man. Come on.
Contextually, it is a good monster. Like, it can fit into any deck that can run instant fusion. It is a tuner. It is flexible. It is usable.
You could Book of Life.
But it is definitely not the best monster.
Yeah.
I regret not selling all of them.
When they were still hype priced at unreasonable amounts. When they were like, what were they, like
exactly.
$30?
Oh yeah, $30. I'll take it.
I was like, yeah, take $30 for this pretty useless card, unless it then turns around to be good. But it didn't. You didn't see any zombie zoo until the end of its life. And even then, no one ran it.
No one ran it. They didn't need it.
Yeah.
Zoo overshadowed everything.
Excluding Maga Bullets, because they're very recent and fresh in everyone's mind, what was a deck that you predicted to be really good, but then flopped super hard?
ABCs. Straight up. ABCs. I made a wrong prediction. I thought that they were going to do very well, but they kind of flopped thanks to Wavering Eyes coming back to 3, making them very difficult to play against, especially against Pendulum Magicians, which at that short time frame was the #1 deck at the time. This is before Spiral kind of took off that in between moment where I thought ABCs were going to be really, really good. They were decent, but they fell short of becoming a tiered deck. Yeah, that was my number one misprediction, which is why I kind of covered a lot of ABC content before the Spiral shenanigan kind of came out.
What was a deck that you thought would be terrible, though, but then turned out to be super good? Like something
Spirals.
you just completely... You didn't think Spirals were going to be that good?
Well, not Link Spirals, but like original Spirals. Like, everyone thought that stuff was garbage.
Yeah.
Which is why Konami decided... Like, I think I mentioned in some video of mine before where I talked about Spirals, but like, oh yeah, Spirals, they're... The reason why they get such broken effects that's not once per turn is because the deck itself is not very good. But then Konami's like, oh, let's fix that right now by giving you guys
That's
one
where you're
card
wrong,
and
kiddo.
spam everything. Yeah, that's where you're wrong. Like they literally went in your face. You know, eat your own words. Eat it. Yeah, that's basically what happened for that scenario. Like a Spiral's one deck that I thought wouldn't do very good. Another deck that I thought that wouldn't do very good, actually, in the long run, was I think it was Paleo. I wasn't exactly on board with Paleo when they came out.
Well, they kind of sucked at the beginning. All we had was what, like Hallucinogenia, the Christmas tree looking fucker. We had Morella, I think. Those were like...
Yeah, we didn't have Toad at the time. I think on the release, did they have Toad?
No, they had Toad like 3 sets later. They came out like...
Yeah, like...
They were like pack filler at first.
Yeah, I didn't think they were very good. They were like a Korean archetype when they first came out. Like Japan didn't even have it themselves. And like I was playing against it on I guess YGO Pro, and I'm like, this deck isn't exactly that scary. As long because I think that was when I was still playing a lot of back row when formats still had traps in their decks. And
whoa, what's a trap? I don't know what that is. I only play Solemn Strike.
And like, yeah, and now that I see like how we shifted away from using solid back row, now it's just
the only thing that people run is maybe the occasional Floodgate if you're playing Paleo, and if not, then it's Time Pendulum Graph, and that's the only trap card left in the game. Because that card is
Pendulum
busted.
Graph, Evenly Matched, the D Barrier. These are the only ones you'll ever see, like in a competitive setting. Okay, Trickstars have their own, of course, Trickstar Reincarnation. I'll give that one, sure.
That card makes me very mad. Very mad. Oh. Not a huge fan of that card. If you can, if I can say.
I get you, Drew. I guess there's also Artifact Sanctum, but these are all like all these traps are kind of like waste your board, you don't get to play kind of deal. Yeah, that's about it.
What's your favorite draw power? Are you a Pot of Desires man? Are you a Lure of Darkness, Spellbook Engine, or Demise?
I am a Destiny draw kind of guy.
Ooh, Destiny draw. Do you wish Disc Commander came back?
Yes, I do wish Disc Commander came back. That's just a selfish wish that will never come true because even if you errata him to be once per turn,
he's busted.
He's still broken.
Yeah,
he's a +3.
What is your...
Upon summoning him, you get the body and 2 draw. I don't know what's more broken than that. Like, it's a pot of greed that basically you keep the card that you played. But Destiny Draw is my kind of card because of Teledad. Teledad was my first competitive deck, which was one of my favorite decks of all time.
What are your unreasonable ban list desires? What is one that you wish was banned, and what was one you wish was off the ban list? What is something that's unreasonable that you wish for?
Unreasonable thing that I wish was banned. Let's throw Ash Blossom in there. Let's just put Ash Blossom in there. I don't like dealing with Ash at all. No one likes me when I Ash them. I can't make friends with Ash Blossom Joyous Spring if I do it to everyone. Like, what's a card that just interrupts deck synergy? You can put it to 1 and I'll still accept it. Like, Maxie's at 1, why don't you go to 1 too? I know it's like, it's a bit unreasonable. Like, Maxie, like, oh, you skipped the guy's turn. Well, how was Ash Blossom any different if you hit on a Desire or you hit on, like, their key card to play? Same idea. And a lot of decks can play around certain things, but Ash is one of those cards that, like, I can hit you no matter what deck you're playing. Except Zodiac. Because it sucked against Zodiac.
Yeah, and that's why it dropped to, like, $38, and that's when I scooped my copies up. Right before,
yeah, that was a great buy.
Right before the
I will probably
original.
Flip mine soon. I'll flip mine if I didn't need them. But as for like a thing that I wished came out of the ban list, aside from Disc Commander, I actually can't think. They're kind of errating everything already. That kind of defeats the purpose. Why don't we just get MAKYURA back? That's because he's probably the most broken one guy in there.
Yeah, just activate a trap from your hand. What's so real bad about that? I don't see the problem there. It's not broken.
Yeah, it's like the most broken shit ever.
I just want
as long as
Feather
they
Duster.
release powerful traps, I don't care. If you release powerful traps, and I will love to use them. And you can easily just play them by activating one Rhoda, summon Armageddon Knight, huck him into the graveyard, and proceed to win.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. We should definitely have MAKYURA back. That'll be great. I just want Feather Duster back. I want Feather Duster and Monster Reborn.
You know what? Actually, I agree with you. I want Duster and Heavy Storm. I want all the back row control to come back. Like, look how much back row are we actually playing? Why don't we just give that to us?
I don't understand why we still have
pendulums.
Heavy Storm.
Like, pendulum players would probably hate that.
Yeah.
Paleo players are going to hate that. In fact, there's a card coming up that Paleo players are going to hate already.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Localized TRUNADE.
Is it Localized TRUNADE? I'm thinking of another card.
Oh, wait, what are we talking about? I don't know.
This is from the set after Extreme Force.
Flames of Destruction?
Yeah, Flames of Destruction. I can't believe no one talked about it, and so I actually wrote a huge script about it. I'm going to be filming that sometime coming up. It's a Red Reboot.
I have no idea what this card is. So heard it here first, but you'll probably have the video up before this.
Maybe. But yeah, Red Reboot's hot. That card's like, what the hell? It's like they got drunk. Konami's dev team got drunk and decided to put together a list of cards all in one, and it is pretty nasty. It's a counter trap you can activate from your hand.
Balanced, kids.
Pretty balanced. It has basically it's like a Rose Archer. When your opponent activates a trap, you can, well, negate that trap. Instead of destroying it, you set it back down, and then your opponent also gets to put another trap from their deck straight onto the field. However, they cannot activate traps for the rest of the turn.
Oh my god. Such a travesty. I cannot activate another trap? Are you kidding me? All those traps I'm playing.
Yeah, well, like, the thing is, you can actually use that to counter Evenly Matched. The thing is, you can activate from your hand by paying half your life. So in other words, when your opponent tries to, like, out you with, like, Cosmic Cyclones or, like, Twin Twisters and blow your back row thinking that you have Mind Crush or something like that, well, you can be like, I activate this thing. You can dig out your second Evenly Match onto the board, and I'll call it a day because I'm going to blow it up before the turn ends. And even though you have a second Evenly on the field, now you're stuck with 2 cards on the field, so your Evenly is, like, not as effective anyway.
I'm glad that
I thought that was actually a pretty nasty card. Because especially when, like, you're going to OTK someone, you play that card, you literally just anti-magic arrowed them. You played it from your hand. It was super safe. Costs half your life. Half your life means that you can always pay it. That's all it means.
Do we know what the new thing is called? The new boss monster yet? Has that been announced? The Flames of Destruction one?
Yes.
What is it called?
I think so. It is called Topologic Trisbana.
Is it any good or is it
It's very good.
Because I kind of slept on Borreload until I played against it when it got added to YGO Pro.
So
and I was like, wait a minute, this card is busted. This is nutty.
Yeah, it was really good. This card is actually really good. It's a Link 3. It's a Link 3. It's pretty. I'm actually going to be talking about that. Like Topologic, you special summon onto where it points. It banishes all the spells and traps on the field, and I believe it burns them for 500 per copy. Yeah, something like that. I thought it was actually pretty legit in terms of a card effect because you can OTK. It's an OTK setup. Like it just banishes straight up. You don't even have to worry about like any sort of like destruction-based back row or anything like that. Like legitimately, I think it's actually a very good card.
So what do you think is do you usually play decks that you perceive are the best deck because they are the best deck, or you have to actually enjoy the archetype? Will you just go, I'm gonna play this for this regional because I want my invite, or do you actually have to want to play the deck?
Usually I play the best deck. Like straight up. Unless I already have my invite. Then I play the deck I want to play, which is deny people from getting their invite kind of deck.
The no fun zones? You ever taken a no fun zone deck to
I wanted to. The closest thing that was a competitive no fun zone was Barrier Statue, and I played against it and I lost. I was like, damn, all the techs that I use, I should know this by now, but I lost to it anyway because Fossil Dyna with Moon Mirror Shield is
no joke.
Really annoying, but then you add a save zone behind that and now you're like, oh my god.
What do I do?
Save zone is pretty annoying to play against, but I do sometimes want to do that. But in terms of like getting my invite, yeah, I'll probably play the best deck. But usually if I want to get my invite, I actually stay competitive for a bit longer. And it actually affects the content on my channel because I'm not looking into exploring like a broad sense of content or like stuff that's happening within the game itself. In fact, I'm just focusing more on a small pool of competitive stuff, which gets boring really quickly. So there's actually always a conflict between wanting to do competitive stuff versus wanting to do interesting stuff. That conflict will always exist.
What's your favorite thumbnail you've made? Because As a graphic designer, I know you've made quite a lot of high quality thumbnails, but what is the one you're just the most proud of?
That's a tough one. Although I like the Bistro Butcher one, but I personally like the one where I put a Dimension... What was that Dimension set that was really bad?
Dimensions Guardian, where it was in the trash heap.
Yeah, that's the one I really liked. I'm like,
Oh,
you know
man.
what, just put that one in the trash, because that's exactly where it belongs. The trash heap one. I enjoyed photoshopping that one.
Sad Boys
I experimented
story.
a lot.
That's the prize support at my local for the longest time. They cause,
Really? Dimensional Guardians?
Because the owner of the shops, like New York is mostly, from what I can tell, from all the locals around here, are predominantly Magic centric. Like all the owners hate Yu-Gi-Oh, even if it is like the biggest turnout. It's the biggest turnout, but so they're like, ah, fuck. Well, they bought 10 boxes of Dimensions Guardian, and they were giving us.
Should have went into OTS packs.
I don't know I haven't seen an OTS pack since OTS pack 4. Like nobody gets OTS packs. They're technically under the they're partnered or whatever it is, but nope, they just don't get it. They're gonna give us
official OTS store.
Yeah, they're an official OTS store, but nope, they're gonna give us fucking Dimensions Guardian, and then once we complained about that, they gave us Legendary Duelist. Weehaw!
2 of the worst sets of the year.
Weehaw!
Like if someone gave me that as a Christmas present, I'd be like, can I have a gift receipt or something? Because I'm going to switch that for, like, a Battle of Legends box or something.
At least I could plus off that. God damn.
Yeah,
Omegas are still good.
Omegas are good. Crystal Wing's still good. If you get that misprint, what is it?
Minerva
misprint.
or DENKO.
No. It was a misprint, the other lights one. Raiden. Misprint Raiden is worth an Ultra Minerva.
Is it really? Because I've seen people, like, selling misprinted Minervas without the names on them for like 150.
Yeah, so the misprint of what's his face, Raiden, is prismatic rare.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And you can actually tell when you have a misprint because the whole box is misprinted.
I know some people had misprint guard dragons where they had the prismatic rare, and then those
those are worth so much. Like the guy, I forgot who, someone wanted to trade his Ultra Minerva for that one. So I was like, the value of that is right now over like a grand. Like holy crap, holy shit.
That's actually really, really scary to think that you're holding that much money.
Yeah, like you're cracking packs. You don't expect to pull something like that. It's like pulling Crush Card back in the day when it was a gold rare.
Gold. That was probably the most expensive gold rare on the planet and forever.
It is. Yeah, probably, because it was a 1 per case.
No, that's scary to think about how many people. I don't want to even think about back in the day, people case cracking to try to pull Crush cards.
Crush Card was needed, man. It's Teledad.
Yeah, it was
like Sangan Crush was basically game. Sangan Crush, and then they mind crush you after because they get to look at your hand. You lost. like that's like worse than getting getting your hand looped because. This time they guarantee that even if you do have a hand, it's going to be a pile of bricks.
Yeah, those were the. How much were they worth back then? Do you remember by any chance?
300. 300?
I was expecting more. I was thinking like 500. I don't know why.
Because you can buy a case. That's the reason.
Do you ever regret getting into Yu-Gi-Oh as your main channel? Do you ever wish you could have you done something else? Like I know you have an Overwatch hat. Do you ever wish you did like Overwatch content or just like video game stuff in general?
I would be lying if I said no. I do kind of want to expand out of just doing Yu-Gi-Oh, which is why my content seems a little bit different to most people. Like I usually like to elaborate, like to do some sort of crazy editing, and I really want to expand in that front. It's just that I can't. I don't have the capacity to do so. So I want to train a video editor myself, just so that they can tackle most of this stuff, so that we can focus on like fancier stuff. But I don't have a team. I do everything solo. I have my computer, my 3-4 cameras, and they're all. Most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, operated by myself.
Yeah, and then there's occasionally Oscar and Nishi and everyone else.
The thing is, I moved. That's why they don't show up. For anyone that's ever wondering, where's Oscar, where's Nishi? Nishi, he's working. He graduated from university, and now he's working. And Oscar, we used to live really close to each other, and now I was the one who actually moved. I moved closer to the city, and because of that, I moved the set with me. And because I have the set, it's just super inconvenient for them to actually come by to actually film anything. So that's why they don't show up very much. And anytime I film with Oscar or Nishi, it's because we went to an event together.
That's the struggle. I'm about to find out, like, the struggle of that, where I'm moving soon too, so I won't be able to have my quote-unquote film crew with me for when I go, all right guys, hear me out, and I give them some bullshit. I'm like, and that's why I need to buy 5 gallons worth of fake blood.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna suck, but I'll figure it out some way or shape or form.
I wish I could film more skits, but like to film a skit, I need people that are willing to, you know, do some things that they might not be comfortable with, or like have something uncomfortable happen to them, because it is a skit. Of course, there are certain things that could happen depending on the script, of course. But and then you have to like get a camera operator, and you need the camera operator to be decent, and you need a sound guy. All in all, it's just a huge gong show when it comes to filming something that's out of the ordinary.
Yeah, those suck, especially like live action stuff on YouTube, where it's less rewarding because it's like you need a budget, you need to organize everything, because like you said, you need a camera guy, you need a sound guy, you need to make sure they're good at what they're doing.
Yeah, because you can't just get any Joe Schmo to do it. If you get a Joe Schmo to do it,
enjoy your shaky cam.
Yeah, enjoy your shaky cam. I hope you like that kind of stuff. It's like a potato. It's like they've never operated something, and then they believe this is the best way to frame something. They frame it completely off. It's a hassle. Like I graduated with like a major in design and a major in media arts, and that stuff really like sticks out to me. Like it's like a thorn in my eye.
Since you're a competitive player, I could ask you this question: do you have any like practice rituals for big events? Do you do any like certain things when you deck test to see if things are consistent or worth running, or like do you see this as a worthy tech? Do you have like a certain play test requirements, like you need to go 40 hours with this, and I need to win like X amount of games with this, and this needs to be useful, or I need to see this X amount of times to warrant me wanting to run it?
I like to take statistics of how well I do. Usually I like taking statistics with more competitive players, because like, to be honest, when you're playing like a competitive deck, you're most likely, your toughest matches are going to be the mirror matches, the other meta decks of the pool, because anyone else that's not running in meta, you can usually just, your deck already kind of wins that part. So we usually like to test the 3 main decks of an event. Usually if you get beat by some guy playing anti-meta against you, first of all, you lack the practice against it, so you might not do so well, but they might break because their deck's not as consistent. But like, we like to test out the main matches. When we test main matches, if you get a brick hand, we just mulligan, just keep going. Sometimes, I think for the first couple of sessions, we try to play through with just good hands. Like, both players have good hands. What would the interaction actually be like? Is it because I misplay? Because if both players have good hands, it just means that when you can test whether you're going first or second, whether or not you can break the board. And after you test a lot, we usually just do like test a bunch of game 1 so we don't side. And then in the game 2s, we decide which person's going first or second. Like, say I won the game 1, so therefore I'm going second, so I will side to go second, and they will side to go first, and we'll play our games accordingly. And then we won't side out yet, because we're just testing a bunch of group matches to see the interaction of what game 2 would look like. And then we reverse the role, so it's like a game 3 kind of happened, and then we kind of switch the sides all over again. And see how you would actually play it out. And we take all that data and find those moments where I made this play, therefore I died. But if I made this play at this point, what would have changed in the board? So we actually freeze our boards half the time, and then we try to like analyze it from play by play, see if it actually makes a difference. And then that's how we actually decide whether or not the tech was good, or if I'm playing correctly, or should I have been more patient, should I have actually attacked, or just pass turn at those certain moments rather than go for like a blind swing. Like, those are the things that we kind of test on, and we just record all of this stuff, and then we kind of have it down to a science at that point. Does that make sense?
So while recording this episode, Tombox accidentally dropped because his internet went out for a little bit, so you're going to hear us recap what we thought after we got the audio back realigned and we were able to reconnect to each other. So this is why it's going to seem a little repetitive, because it wouldn't make sense if I just cut this all out, but hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. So let's see, we were talking about the meta deck ritual, or deck rituals for tournaments, So do you have?
I can go over it again. It's pretty straightforward.
You can
actually.
just whatever your final thoughts were on it, you can just go through because we still have a good chunk of it, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So final thoughts was basically we test the game ones, just a bunch of them all at once, so that we don't have to bother like signing out in the first bit. And then we kind of do a die roll on that, because game ones, you don't exactly know whether or not you're going first or second, due to the fact that the die roll, of course. And then game 2, we play a bunch of game 2s. We don't do the die roll anymore. We just keep on playing with the cards sided, so we can actually maximize on the number of interactions. So that we, rather than constantly siding cards in and out, because that's a bit of a waste of time, we take the data from what we did in the game 2, and we usually like to freeze, board freezing. Board freezing helps out a lot because you can actually analyze whether or not the play was good, and we see if we made misplays along the way that would actually turn the entire game around. Could have been good either way. And game 3 is just basically a switcheroo. But make sure to test with good hands. If you guys brick, just mulligan right away. But then after doing the complete testing of that with all the new data in mind, and like maybe deck fixing and whatnot, then you actually play actual matches against each other, so that even if you have a brick hand, can you actually play out of the brick hand? Because that is actually very crucial between a good player and an exceptional player.
Well, while the topic of a good player and exceptional player, I do want to talk about an idea or a theory I've watched from a lot of videos. And this was during Dragon Ruler format, where they were talking about a good player can get like +3, +4 off Super Rejuve, but an excellent player can get a +8 from the same hand, and it's all about knowing your deck inside and out.
Yes.
I just think
that's a possibility. Like, Super Rejuve, by nature, is already a pretty busted card. Like, every single dragon you send to the graveyard, every single dragon you tribute, you get pluses off of it. You're supposed to be able to put out an entire board, and you're supposed to be able to play the Super Rejuve to recover the entire hand. If you're not recovering the entire hand, that means perhaps you didn't do something correctly. But that can also mean another thing, is that you played to a different tempo. You decide to go with the light and darkness over establishing a massive board full of, well, a really strong board plus hand traps in hand. Like, it's a choice. Of course, it depends on matchup. I think that if you're a really, really good player and you know the matchup and you know your opponent, you could choose to go with the less powerful route, but basically has more chances of winning, versus the one that you can just grind out a bunch of natural card advantage. I don't know.
So you're a person who has done a few collabs. Like, I know you did the the meta deck breakdown from over the years. What has been your favorite collab?
My favorite collab probably was the one from Galactic God, where I did that whole meta thing. It was actually a very smart move. You know what? Shoutouts to everyone that wants to do collabs or anything whatnot. If you do a collab, or say a guest upload of some sort, try to make it in 2 parts. I'm telling you this as advice, because if you do it in 2 parts, part 1 is on their channel, which has the largest subscriber base usually. Part 2 is on your channel, which finishes it off. If you can leave them hanging on a cliffhanger, or perhaps not enough information and they want to finish it off, then they'll go to your channel and watch it. It gives them incentive to come over. And thanks to that collab was a huge boost when I was a small channel. Like, it basically doubled my size.
So what is a channel you think right now is underrated in the community? This is going to sound like a huge ass kisser right now, but on every episode so far, I always say you. Because I think the amount of effort you guys put in, like your design, like your graphic design, like all of the overlays and the thumbnails, and just talk about your mats that you've done are all amazing. And I think your views to quality put in is severely depressing.
Yeah, well, I just accept it as it is, because I don't really do search engine optimization properly. That's part of the reason. But the other thing is, like, for me, thinking of a channel that is underrated, there was a channel called That Craig Fellow that I always really wanted to promote. He's like Alenthio 2.0. He's really good at his editing. He's top notch on his skills. Like, his name is TCF Yu-Gi-Oh! And I really like his channel, but then life kicked in and then he kind of couldn't do as much. But yeah, he was one guy that I was really trying to push forward. I'll give him random shoutouts for no reason, just because I like his stuff. You know, that's actually how it usually is. But usually, I don't think that there are very many channels that are underrated. There must be some form or some area that they're not actually excelling in that's causing them to not rise to the top as fast as needed. Like, competitive content isn't exactly for everyone. A lot of people just like to see deck profiles and just kind of net deck. A lot of people love seeing pack opening because pack openings to like people in the community is pretty exciting. Like, even I go ahead and look at pack openings before I buy myself a box. It gives them, like, product reviews, and we know how big product reviewers are on YouTube as well. So that's kind of my take on it. But TCF Yu-Gi-Oh! is one of the big ones. Actually, your channel I thought it was a bit underrated. You have such huge view count. And like, I think you're doing something, like, really well. Like, I'm not just, like, saying because I'm on your interview right now or anything, but, like, your channel doing the, like, What's Wrong season, like, that series, What's Wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh!, like, honestly, it's a very smart thing to do, and I can see you, like, easily surpassing my channel, surpassing a lot of other channels out there, just through your sheer effort and content. Like, your content's great.
I didn't anticipate becoming a Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber at first. I wanted to be more of a film analysis, and I was like, I'll use Yu-Gi-Oh! as a starting point, as a practice reference for, like, editing to get better, because I hadn't done editing in so long since I was in high school in a internship program for graphic design, and did a bunch of other multimedia stuff working at I did intern at a company in North Carolina called Red Hat for a bit. So I wanted to use that as a practice tool. I did not expect it to blow up like it did, but I am forever grateful that it is. And then
it is really good. You're exploding right now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's kind of sad sometimes when it's like you put out like the duel video, like live duel, like I put out like a Spellbook Paleo versus Invoked match. And that kind of didn't do that well, but like I take it as it is, because I understand what people subscribe for is the everything wrong with
series. Yeah, everything wrong with, yeah.
And then it's just like I see them as other, like the deck guides I did a Skull Servant, like a 30-minute Skull Servant guide that broke down all the cards and what's good, and I just saw that as like a passion project almost in a way. It's like other stuff, but that's like the main focus of the channel.
But hey, I think that because you started with the Everything Was Wrong series, it's just that you open yourself up to doing everything else is wrong with other things aside from Yu-Gi-Oh! Which gives you, like, an open door to reach out to do other things. Whereas a lot of YugiTubers, their audience isn't exactly very accepting of them trying to shift.
Yeah, I could see that. I always feel bad for whenever people have those comments, because I lurk a lot. I like to see what other people's opinions are. Like, I'm in like a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTubers. If they're most of them are open, unless I'm like a subscriber to them or a patron to them. I'm in their Discords and I see what people think, and I read subreddit comments. And it does suck, and I feel for them when they want to branch out and people just don't allow it. It's the not the starving artist, the musician complex or musician situation where it's like they want to listen to the old songs, the old classics, but the musician wants to do their new type of style. But no one wants to hear that. Yeah,
like, I'm kind of stuck in that situation. I really want to branch out, which is why I did the Bistro Butcher content. Like, why I do sketches, and so why I sometimes ramble about random things or bring in, like, random memes into the videos. It's just that I want to show that I can do other things. Like, I have a second channel, Tombox TV, which eventually will get kicked off once my...
When are we getting more Cooking with Tombox videos?
Yeah, Cooking with Tombox. Like, I've done 2 videos over there. I've actually done more, just that I haven't posted them. I've actually recorded so much content for that side that I never get a chance to upload. I went to the Yukon. I went to the freaking Yukon randomly over a weekend. Do you know where the Yukon is?
No clue. No clue at all. I'm very uncultured.
Have you ever heard of the gold rush of whatever time? Everyone kind of went up to the Yukon to dig gold.
Oh, yes.
It's the territory. It's a territory beside Alaska.
Oh, okay, yes.
That's the Yukon. Have you played the game Yukon Trail?
No, I have not. I cannot.
it's like a elementary school game, like with a crappy little.
No, I was stuck with Number Munchers and Mavis Bacon teaching to type.
Okay. So, yeah, I had all the right type, but yeah, like the Yukon is up north, and that's where you usually go to see the Northern Lights. My friends and I decided to go up there randomly over a weekend, and I basically recorded an entire vlog of everything you can do up there, but I haven't posted that.
Oh,
I still have the video.
This guy. I know you climbed mountains before. I've seen you post on Twitter, on your personal Twitter. What was that like?
Yeah.
Was that difficult?
That was hella difficult. I'm so out of shape.
I understand the feel.
Like I had to recover for like 2 weeks after that.
I broke out into sweat just running across my my apartment for a video live action thing just over and over again because we kept forgetting to close the fucking front door because the whole thing was like I'm running to the front to the exit and we would fuck up somehow and I'd forget to close the fucking door, so we'd run all the way to the other end and I'm like, oh my god, the door. So we had to keep starting over.
That's why you need a producer.
Yeah, it was at 3 a.m. with 3 friends, one holding lamps with red light bulbs, one holding the camera, and the other one carrying the cable so no one tripped. We're very ghetto rigged here.
See, that's like, well, my rig's pretty ghetto. Like, I've been using most of the YouTube stuff to kind of like purchase this and that, but I've been also like dropping my own money for it too.
That's pretty much what I've been doing lately. Like, I bought a camera and I bought like more RAM and a nice tripod and, as I said earlier, 5 gallons of fake blood.
Man, I want to see what the hell you're doing with that.
It's for a promotional video, an idea for
I think it's
for a
you know you can make your own fake blood.
Yeah, I could,
with,
but I
cranberry concentrate. It's corn syrup and red food coloring.
Yeah, but I just had Amazon Prime and I didn't want to leave my house, so I was like, all right, push the button.
Fair enough. Besides, less of a mess, I think.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to mop that shit up off the floor, and I have to get a few cards that I don't care about getting fake blood all over, and get some candinas.
Oh man, I want to build Trick Stars. That's my next go-to deck now.
Yeah, like all my locals right now is either, if you're not playing Pen Magicians, you're playing Trick Stars, because my one friend.
Your locals seems so meta.
It used to be not meta. It used to be like Rogue tier the local after the super competitive store closed down and everyone just split off.
Oh yeah.
And then Trick Stars happened, and then Trick Stars is super cheap, so everyone who was playing like fucking UA and Blackluster Soldier, not mind you, not the Super Soldier variant, original Blackluster Soldiers, are just they're like, okay. Oh, we're just gonna make Trick Stars, and if you don't know the ruling, like I didn't know for a bit because I didn't read the card, I didn't realize that Lily Bell is once per turn because I was like, I must do that. I didn't feel like checking it, and he kind of infinite looped and OTK'd me by attacking directly multiple times. And bouncing back.
Oh, you mean the firewall loop? That was a good one.
No, not even that. It was like Lycoris bounce Lily Bell specials back to hand.
Yeah. Oh, so wasn't the firewall Lily Bell crash Lycoris loop?
I don't know because it was some random guy because this was the man who was playing BLS, like OG BLS. So I doubt he even read his cards. So he just like attacked directly, Lycoris bounced back, and then he just goes back down in and then keeps on attacking it. Something yeah, like basically that. And then he'd be like, he had a second Lycoris in hand. He's like, Lycoris effect, bounce, attack. Oh, but yeah, you can OTK with that. That's one of those OTK moments that they can do. It's not even the firewall Lycoris Bell Lily Bell loop. It was pretty interesting to see people starting to snuff in grinder golems into their decks just so that they have instant access to that. Yeah. Like, I don't care if you have a monster on the field. I give you this grinder golem. I'm all set up for the OTK. Yeah, no one is using grinder golem right now because everyone's super hesitant at our locals to invest in them. Especially me. Like, I just have proxies. Oh, see, I've invested into the Jesse pack back in the day, so I already had mine. I played some cheesy stuff for I played what's his face, Norloris. Not OTK. It was just like Norlis ripped your hand apart turn 1, and that's all it did. Yeah. I played that for like a regional just for fun, and it was to annoy people that are playing any other deck, just so that they open with no cards in their hand. Like, okay, starting turn, activate trade-in. Okay, trade-in the grinder golem. I was playing like Inferno Tempest. Yeah, so that was the OG use for it. Was troll deck Inferno Tempest. That was the old bane of existence on Dueling Network. So that's what I did, and I was doing that, and then I also had Norloris in there, and then like summon like Phantom of Chaos, banish Norloris, pay 1,000, rip all the cards off of our hands, and I'll draw 1. So that's basically what I did with it. So that's why I have a set of grinder golems. No, I only got back physically into the game the end of last year, beginning of this year. For the longest time, it was strictly online only. I wish I didn't get rid of all my cards from a kid, because I'm pretty sure I had multiple Raigekis. Yeah, that's gotta hurt. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had multiple Raigekis, and I had some good stuff from memory, and I was like, that's all gone. I had some of the old hero stuff, like Neospatians, that are worth a pretty penny. Like, I still have some now that I got from a friend when we didn't know the value of them. Like, I have Magma Neos, the secret rare, which is like unlimited if it's near mint, is like still $60 fucking. Yeah, all the old set stuff is pretty expensive just because they're really hard to find now. Yeah.
especially collectibles. Collectibles are.
Yeah, I'm really just trying to find someone to fucking buy that shit off me. I want to use it to like buy. I need a Borreload right now. I just want to get a Borreload because that card is pretty dumb. Pretty dumb, not gonna lie.
It won me a few games.
Okay, a few.
A few. I haven't played enough to say a lot, but it won me a handful of games already just by putting him on the board. So good against ABC players.
It's really good against Paleo because I'm just like, what do I do against this?
You can't target it with monster.
You can't target it. You can't use effects.
You can't negate him.
You can't battle him. Just like you can't even use Sky Cavalry. He just takes him. What do you do then? Oh man,
yeah, it is a big pain in the ass.
Yeah, but people will find out a way around him. But to talk more about what you've done on the side besides YouTube, what has been your favorite mat to make? What was it the Ash Blossom one? Was it the Ghost Ogre or the Team Samurai X mat with the 6 Sams in the dojo?
I like this. I like the dojo mat, to be honest. It's probably one of my favorite ones. But in terms of, I'll give you my top 3. Number 3 is the Link Zone mat, the one that I made.
The Imperium Duelist one?
Imperium Duelist put out a couple. The first one, the one so-called Mystic Era. To be honest, that's actually not the name of that map, but that's what they called it. I called it the Link.
It's the one with your logo on it, right? One side is purple, one side's blue.
Yes,
that's the mat I used. I remember I watched
I love that mat. I still use it today, and I designed my overlays for my live duels around that mat.
I'm pretty sure it was either your video or somebody else's review of that mat, and as soon as it was available to the public, I bought a copy, and that's the only mat I use right now. It is very nice.
that is my favorite mat, right? Like my favorite mat that I go to for making videos. It's really good for making videos.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice.
I designed it specifically for video making. But then that's why my overlays and whatnot, all the assets I made for live duels revolve around a blue side and a purple side now. And the second mat I really like is Sam's mat. I like the dojo. I like it without the characters, but with the character it has its own charm. But the dojo itself took me so long to design. Because I was looking at card art the entire time. I'm looking at like, oh, let's take a look at what's going on. Evenly match. What's going on with Gozen match. And then I look at it, I'm like, dude, this thing barely has any detail. But I do see the painting. I do see the emblem. I see streamers. And then Sam likes Overwatch. So I look into the interior of Hanamura stage. That map, and then I'm like, okay, you know what, I'll work something out using this, and that's how I made the dojo part of the entire mat. And then I had to draw like 12 characters, which was like super ambitious. Like, who the hell designs a mat with 12 freaking things on it that all needed to be detailed? So that's why it took me like 3 months to actually get it done.
Since making that, have people asked you any like really dumb questions like, can you make me this Deskbot mat? I'll give you like $30 for it.
See, like the mat making thing since I think one of my other favorite mats, which was the VFD versus Masterpiece one. They come up to me like, oh dude, man, I'll pay you like $60 and I'll make a mat. Oh hey, like it costs $60 on the store. I'm like, dude, it costs $60 on the store, but do you know how many copies of that mat there is? You multiply that by by what? If they sold 100, 60 times 100 is that mat's worth. But of course, that's not how much the art is worth. That's how much bank they're just making. But in terms of like how much it's supposed to cost me, like I would not settle with $60 and then let someone else make like a shit ton of money off of it. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Source art wise, it's like, you know, I usually tell people the base price. Like, if you want me to make you something, is it a one-off or is it in production? If it's in production, we can talk. If it's a one-off, it's still $400 for you.
Okay, because I was about to ask, was like, if you're willing to disclose how much did it cost for Sam?
Oh yeah, it's fine. It depends on what it is. Usually, I start from, if it's like an easy one, I'll be like $120 and it's yours. Like I'll design the whole thing. I might even get it made. But then if you're talking about something as fancy as Sam's mat, I gave him like friend price on that.
Friend discount.
I gave him a friend discount on that because he's helped me out a lot throughout the years, and throughout this year he's helped me out like quite a bit. And in that regard, I gave him a friend discount. I'm not gonna disclose what it is, but if I were to charge him full price on that mat, each character would have been about like 100 to 120 each character.
So we're talking the big buckos.
Yeah, it would have cost him a lot. And the dojo itself would have cost him a lot because it's a two-sided dojo. And well, it's kind of like a flip, so then I would only charge him for one side, and then I'll just flip it the other way around. But that stuff as well would have cost him about like $200 just for that background, because like a lot of people don't realize that how much time that actually goes into making a mat is like, if you consider even minimum wage. What's the minimum wage in New York?
It depends on where you're from. Like certain states are more. Like I know New York, the minimum wage is like, I think they just bumped it up to, it's about like $10 to $11. But I know in North Carolina it's about $7.50.
So okay, say let's go with North Carolina, $7.50. Let's go with a lower number here, and then you spend what, 50 hours on it. That's like still $300 something on it.
Yeah.
Like, that is what I'm talking about. And if you pay anyone less than that, it's almost insulting. Like, they, like, dude, like, so my answers have gone from, when people ask me that, it's gone from, no, I can't really do that. I don't think you can actually afford my rates here because my rates are, and so on and so forth. And then it's gone to the point with, so, do you think I have time for this? To more of, so how would you like it if I told you to make me a mat like this and I paid you $20? How long do you think it would actually take you? So it's slowly getting more and more condescending.
I understand. I feel kind of bad now because there's this one guy I'm trying to get it do an animated intro for Everything Wrong With when I kick it off for GX. But I haven't messaged
doing an intro, like Sam's intro. Like, I've done so much for like a lot of people, all of the big channels, anyways. Like, because I'm more of a business kind of guy. I don't do things for free, and except for this I'm doing for free.
Thank you for doing this for free.
I usually for like my profession, I don't do it for free because just by professional standard, I can't do it for free unless I'm like really good friends.
I can pay you an exposure. I pay you an exposure. Maybe.
No, I can't take it like that because it's not tangible, and I have bills to pay.
Yeah. Like,
time is very expensive. And for those of you who want to know what card game I worked on in terms of mobile, I work on Microsoft Solitaire.
Oh, no.
The audience is over 2 million. So, yeah, that's what I work on. I'm not kidding. You can find my name in the credits in the mobile version.
I'll look that up and we'll have it on screen if I could find the name.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. It's public already, so that's why I can share that. But for anything else,
nothing. No, don't you want to have assassins sent to your house for breaking NDAs?
No, I'm not gonna break any NDAs here. I'm still working very happily on it. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do, and just mats in general. And my favorite mat of course of all time is probably, I think it's going to be, yeah, VFD versus Masterpiece, because that's the one that really kind of kicked things off.
Definitely a solid choice. I know a fan favorite from people I've talked to who watch your stuff really like the Infinity versus Trishula.
Oh, Infinity versus Trishula. That one I've only made one. I forgot who gave it away.
Didn't you give it away to a tournament winner from one of the MOS, I believe?
Oh, yes. I made one, and I also gave away one. So there's only 2 copies of that one. Those ones are exclusively giveaways.
Yeah, I know
Never
people
sold.
I've talked to, like, that mat design is awesome. I'd kill to have it, but...
Like, the slice in half is Reaper and Ogre in the middle. It's a very thin slit, but Reaper and Ogre are both in there.
Very good. Very cool.
That one was like that was a sneaky one. I'm like, you know what? I need a mad idea. I have all my source art, and if anyone to like hack my computer, and I'm not telling people to hack my computer, but all the source art is on my computer.
Please don't hack him. Please don't DOS him. Please don't DDoS him. He's a very nice man. He was willing to come on this very low quality show.
No, man, I enjoyed kind of talking behind the scenes. A lot of people don't understand like a lot of stuff going behind the scenes, and getting an opportunity to talk about it, I am actually very happy about it.
Yeah, I definitely want to dispel some of the misconceptions of YouTubing in a way, along with letting the community get further attached and get to know the stars of it better, because I feel like there's somewhat of a divide in a way. Like at the end of the day, like when I talked to Simo about this, is that like at the end of the day we're just regular guys, we're just regular dudes too, And
we got bills to pay, we got mouths to feed.
Ain't nothing in this world for free.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about.
But now we're coming up on about, let's see, an hour and 30 minutes. So I want you to take this time to plug everything. Give me your MySpace, your Facebook, your Tinder, your Grindr, your Webster, your Farmers Only account, your Patreon. Let people know where they can find content made by MST.TV's Tombox. Go.
So, YouTube, MSTTV604. As for my Twitch, MSTTV_Tombox. My Patreon, I think it's just Tombox TV. My Design by Human stuff. If you want my merch, you can go to Design by Human / Tombox TV. Tombox TV. You know what MST stands for? It's Mega Super Tombox now, not
Monster Spell Trap.
It's either or. It works out both ways. You go on my Discord. You can find usually the link in any of my videos. If you want to check out my mats, you can find it on my website, my actual website, tomboxcreations.com. I usually have a lot of stuff up there. It actually has some of the design decisions that I've made for Team APS. I did it as a project. In fact, this whole tubing gig helped me get my current job. It helped me kill the interview. It also helped me be more confident when I speak. I used to be very awkward. I've done a lot of weird things. Anyways, yeah, that's basically all the plugs I have.
What can people expect from Tombox next, though? What are we looking forward to, man?
So, in 2018, I have tournaments coming up. For the first time, I'm actually partnering up with several other groups, Facebook groups perhaps, to do tournaments. They enjoy my stuff, and I can provide pretty decent prize support. Aside from that, I have 2 mats coming for my own channel. I'm only going to do 2 because I realize I get a lot of requests to do stuff, and I want to be able to take those in this time. So, 2 mats. My official channel mat of next year is going to be DENKO SEKKA.
Hell
full color
yeah.
one. Why not? Because to me, that card has a good memory. Like that Satellar player just couldn't do anything about it. And
send him to Shadow Realm, dude. He's still there.
He's
gonna come back. It's gonna be like the Nemesis system in Shadow of Mordor. It's like, I remember when you sent DENKO SEKKA on me.
Oh yeah. And my other mat that's going to be for tournament and probably mass release is going to be an ink one, not a full color one. It is going to be Jack Knight of World Scars. If you actually go to my Facebook, plug into my Facebook, it's just Facebook/MSTTV. You can see some of the samples coming up from there as well. So yeah, lots of fun things. And I'm right now doing a time-lapse video of me drawing the Jack Knight of World Scars in a new pose. And you guys know I always do stuff in original art. I don't do traces. Well, I've done one trace, but it was not like a copy and paste. It was actually legit trace and redraw for ink versions of certain things. Yeah, there's that stuff going on too. But next year I'm gonna do more tournaments. I'm gonna do more skits. Probably going to move on to doing Tombox TV and doing a lot more fun things I can show you guys that is different from just Yu-Gi-Oh!
Do you have any, can you name any specific tournaments you're going to that the people can meet you?
I will be going to Seattle Regional, the next one. You guys will definitely find me there. And if I host a tournament down the States, it'll probably be near Seattle, perhaps in the coming future. And I will be probably a tournament host there. Can't really provide too much details at this very moment, but that's also another place where you can find me. And if there's a YCS nearby, I'll probably go to that. And you'll also find me in Nats. Even if I don't get my invite, I'll probably go to Nats regardless. I'll just do LCQ and probably all the side events because I want to win a giant card.
All right, man. If I do by chance go to Nats right now, I'm scheduled to go to the ARG in Charlotte, North Carolina. And right now I'm trying to maybe go to YCS Atlanta, so you can maybe meet me there if I do end up going, for all 2 of you who do want to meet me. But
I would love to meet you.
If I do, Tom, I'm definitely going to have you sign one of my Ghost Rare MSTs. Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
I have my
MST,
collection.
Mega Super Tombox?
Yeah, your Mega Super Tombox. My goal is to have the spirit card equivalent to every YugiTuber signed, like. What is your Karibo right now? What do you see as your Karibo?
My Karibo is I don't have one.
Oh my god, you're getting MST.
I don't have anything. I'm really bad at this. It would have been an MST, but I don't like MST right now.
It's pretty poopy, except for that one guy who cited it in at what fucking YCS was it recently? He was just like, yeah, you know, I had space. I just put an MST, and it saved me a few times. Pretty sure it was an Invoke deck. Can't remember.
You know what? My Karibo is Trishula, the Ice Barrier Dragon. Always has been. He's my spirit animal.
I'll have you sign my Trish and my MST then when I get to see you eventually.
Trish.
One day I'll go to. One day I'll get my invite. I
do apologize for rambling a lot.
No problem, man. That's the whole point of the show.
This topic is just too much to talk about. Too much. I can't hold all this conversation.
But nonetheless, thank you, man, for coming on.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. No, thanks for having me.
To plug myself a little bit, not to sound like an egotistical asshole, you can find me on twitter.com/civet_. I do have a Patreon if you do want to support the show. This is now my full-time job, so help me keep my bills on so I don't become homeless again.
Yes, please, go support his Patreon. This is not me reading a script.
I definitely don't have a gun to his head. But if you do donate at least... If you do donate at least $1, you can join my Discord server and talk to me occasionally. And you do get some behind-the-scene updates along with on Twitter, which is free to follow. But yes.
Man, definitely do that, guys. Follow this guy if you want to be up to date with everything wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh! Or other series, potentially. That is not confirmed.
There's something in the works. Don't worry.
Oh my god. I'm predicting the future. I have the Millennium Necklace with me.
Yeah. Why did Yugi never use the Millennium Necklace? He was given it. He never used it. And then he's like, oh my god, he had this trap. What? Why? What was the point?
Seriously? Why did you not use the Millennium Necklace, Yugi?
How is he the reincarnation of Yami if Yami's spirit is still trapped in the puzzle if he didn't fully pass on? How is he a reincarnation? How does that work exactly?
Hashtag logic. Anime logic.
Checkmate, atheists.
Oh, superb.
It's like I'm not even trying to hide. I'm cheating. Yugi boy. but nonetheless, guys, thanks for stopping by. Thank you for sitting through this hour-and-a-half video. And until next time, guys, peace.
Alright, see you guys.